Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel and more SPQR coverage here. So we're continuing on in our trilogy of scenario reviews for the Slave Revolt list. So the second one is Kill 'em All, and as we can see here, the slaves do have basically half the table for deployment. The defenders are in a smaller box. So let's take a look here. So both players have warbands of equal drachma for the battle. Enemy players, the defender. Slave Revolt player is the attacker. The setup, so a villa and its grounds should be placed in the defending player's deployment zone, somewhere thereabouts. This could be a single building or a complete villa, outbuildings, etc., which would be pretty neat. The defending player deploys all his models, and then the Slave Revolt player deploys all their models, and the Slave Revolt player has the first phase as well. So, again, anytime if you get to see what the opponent's entire deployment before you have to deploy, and the fact that you're getting the first turn too, just gives you all kinds of great information, and a pretty good way of then knowing how you should best deploy and attempt to deal with them. So really good advantage here for the Slave Revolt player, but we do have some special rules, so let's take a look at those. So all units in both warbands will be hampered by night. No unit may perform any kind of attack on an enemy that's more than 12 away at the start of the phase. You're going to have to get up close and personal to do anything with this. So really short range weapons are going to be overall more effective. So a unit, for example, can't move within 12 with its first action and then attack with bows. It has to be within 12 at the start of the first action to attack. In addition, the defending player may take no actions until a Slave Revolt unit completes an action within 12 of one of his units. So that can be abused a little bit there, because you could, as the Slave Revolt player, make sure you're staying just out of 12, and then once you're ready, ideally more towards the start of a turn, then you can sort of start going sort of full force after the defender. So again, note that it says until a Slave Revolt unit comes or completes an action. So if you move close to a Slave Revolt unit, that's as the defender, that's not the Slave Revolt unit completing the action. That's you are. So again, that could be abused under the right circumstances there for the Slave Revolt player. That being said, if you're a smart or wily defender here, you might, if you have a unit that you could spare to lose, or just mess with the enemy, send that straight ahead, get as close to an enemy unit as possible, just so that then eventually they will, or sooner they'll have to complete an action within 12 of you, and then you can start moving the rest of your forces. So, victory. The fight continues until all the models in one warband have been completely removed, either through injury or will to fight. The remaining warband is the victor. So it is basically a wipe the opponent out mission, but with some little caveats here. So we're doing, this is at night, so that's always fun. So again, everything's going to be closer ranges, and going to be some very fast and brutal action, or spurts of action here, with again that 12-inch rule coming into effect many times there. So certainly, longer range things like bows and stuff will have a place, but you again have to start the turn within 12 of the enemy. So or there won't be any early shots or anything like that. But certainly things like javelins and stuff will certainly come into their own here and be useful essentially all the time, since they're only 10-inch range. So naturally you're going to be within the 12 inches. So overall, just a fun little mission, pretty simple. Slaves here again have some key advantages in the sense of, again, already basically controlling half the board as far as deployment. So really, it pays to be aggressive here for the slaves, and start right at the edge and just figure out where the enemy is potentially weakest, and then just get in there. But again, you don't want to necessarily get carelessly close right away, and then allow the enemy to move. Remember, the enemy can't move until you complete an action within 12. So if you do it right, you can sort of bring a lot of your forces to bear all at once. So just a key point in choosing when and how the engagement happens there. But as the defender, you do have some buildings and other things to sort of limit avenues of approach there. And if you put your best defensive units in good positions, you can hopefully weather the storm. Again, once you start winning a few fights against the Slave Revolt list, it's going to be hard for them to sort of deal with you. Again, it's a very much a list that either thrives on winning and sort of building momentum that way, or if they start losing, it's going to be hard for them to dig themselves out of a hole. So it's basically kind of all one way or the other with the Slave Revolt list. So so overall, again, real fun stuff. Eager to try this out. Let us know in the comments, guys, if you've already tried this scenario, whether it's with actual like an actual Slave Revolt list, or if you just modified it yourselves and tried it with different forces. But really interesting to hear about that. Let me know in the comments, guys. Smash that like and subscribe button as well. And if you guys want to support the channel even more, check out the link in the description there. Pop over to Warlord. Anything you guys pick up also helps support the channel. Really do appreciate everybody who does that. And stay tuned. We'll be wrapping up the trilogy here with the final scenario, The Bitter End, in the next video. So we'll catch you guys then.